What's up, Nitwits? Dom here, and with me as always, Joe,
Hey, Nitwits.
for a Nitwit Quickie of why did Xbox no show but kinda show? I don't know what you want to call it. Phil Spencer was there at the Game Awards. Um, I think it's kind of one of the things that a lot of people are talking about to some degree, and it's just something so weird for one of the biggest names in gaming just not to have anything at a Game Awards.
Yeah.
So, here are the Nitwits' 3 theories. Insert epic music. One, I think this is the most common one. Obviously, in 2022, they had a February event. So, Joe, let's just say they just have another event planned, right?
Yeah.
They didn't want to show anything at Game Awards. They want everything to be their own event, yada, yada, yada.
I mean, but you're right. That right there is the most common response across the internet.
Yep.
Because they're known for this. They had several events this year, last year, that were just like these 30-minute showcases that showed off games that they hadn't developed. Right? Makes logical sense.
And it's smart. It's their own thing. They can show off what they want. They're not competing with anybody there. You know, it just, to me, it's the easiest, most logical thing to think, right? Just plain and simple. Theory 2. They're afraid that the games that they said they would be ready from all those events they had just won't be ready. And specifically talking about maybe Redfall, Starfield, or Forza Motorsports, just to name the bigger names in that. But it's just something interesting to think because what happens if those games aren't ready? Xbox can't afford another bad year of not producing good games.
No. And that's the perfect point right there, is that if they have another year with no games, and let's just be realistic, that is 2022 and 2021, where they didn't have much come out, it's going to look really bad on them, especially after having 32 studios underneath their umbrella. It is insane to think we have not had a major exclusive. I'm excluding Halo Infinite right now, just because that wasn't that polished of a launch, right? No one wants to think about that right now.
That was even delayed a year.
Yeah, exactly. But think about it. Redfall's been in development for a long time. We heard about this back in 2018. Starfield's been in development for over 10 years. Forza Motorsport is getting a whole revamp. And we've known about these games for quite some time now. They need to drop next year for Xbox to have a successful 2023.
And Joe, let's just go with our third theory. And this one I just call the Joe theory. You're the only person I've heard talk about it, so take it away.
Yeah, so one thing I want to really point out there is that it's not being talked much across the internet. I'm sure someone else out there has thought about this too. But realistically, is the current legal battle with the FTC and the CMA. I truly believe Xbox is afraid to give any additional fuel to the fire that the FTC and CMA are trying to throw onto them, right? Right now, they're in a situation where they're currently being sued by the FTC about this acquisition with, Activision. And I wholeheartedly think that and believe that is a huge reason we didn't see them there. They're afraid to show off exclusivity, especially from a developer they just purchased like Bethesda. Yeah, we've known about these games for quite some time. But again, why add fuel to a fire? They don't want to add anything. Like, are they sure this purchase is going to go through? I mean, I think everybody is for the most part. But anything can happen. So they don't want to add anything additional to their legal trouble. And I think that is a very realistic thought process there in regards to why they had nothing at the Game Awards. And I want to add, just because we talked about this, Tom, I want to talk about IGN and GameSpot and all these websites talking about how this was a slap in the face. And I don't disagree with that. But the flip side to it, I think there's a reason.
Yeah, I do disagree with it though to some degree because anymore, like we talked about this in our podcast, the Game Awards kind of just like a big like wannabe MTV show. Like I don't feel it's like truly quote unquote for gamers. And I think like every outlet's just trying to like be like, oh well, they don't care about us, and I don't think that's necessarily true. I do think there's more to the story, but we have to wait to get more answers. But honestly, like it's just so hard to tell. Like we need just a word from Xbox of something, and I feel that would help settle people's minds a little bit more.
Yeah, but the reason I said I don't fully disagree with it is because think about it. It is the most viewed gaming show ever.
Yeah. Event,
So
yeah.
if you have over 80 million people viewing it, but you only get a million people viewing the Xbox event, Xbox just lost out on a ton of money. So, going back, I don't fully disagree. I do think it's somewhat a slap in the face, especially after the showcase back in June or July, whenever it was, when they announced all these games coming out in the next year. Like we know these games are coming, but not to see anything sucked. As an Xbox fan, I was disappointed. You were disappointed. So
Yeah.
I do think it was a slap in the face. But I also believe that Phil Spencer and Xbox truly care for us as gamers, and that they didn't do it on purpose, but they did it because there's a bigger reason that they did this.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of I differentiate from these outlets, right? I think IGN and these big and GameSpot, these bigger websites, are just really making it out to be bigger than what it is. It does suck. I am disappointed, but
Great clickbait though.
it is great clickbait. You're right. You're exactly right. But then thinking about these three possible reasons on why they decided not to do it or show up makes total sense. Yeah,
I won't argue with that. Yeah, I mean, it just overall, I think for Xbox not showing up, I think the event planned, maybe the games aren't ready, and a legal battle. I think all three of those, actually, all three might be true. I mean, to be honest, that's the other funny thing. But I think the legal battle definitely has a little more. Maybe they don't want to play all their cards yet to like, make them look weaker, whatever you want to insert there. But I wouldn't be surprised if in January they have an event. Just to ease people's minds, or some BS like that. But hey, we'll just wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like you said, all 3 points I think are valid. I think all 3 points could be a factor of why we didn't see them, and we'll know soon.
But all right, Nitwits. As always, if you made it this far, please like, subscribe, and comment. And Joe, take it away.
Peace, love, and chicken grease.